So basically, I'm just trying to show you them on how you can use instruments to analyze NFT data on Covalent. I'm going to write any piece of code is as easy as possible, or you just have to do just repeat some situations, and then you get values that you're looking for. Right. Okay, so basically in the last 30 days, the revenue that has been generated from NFTs on, I think it's Ethereum and Polygon, right? So this gives you like a full picture of basically what you can do with Increment platform, which is a. Can you guys hear me? You can hear me. So this is basically a rough idea of how Increment works. You don't need to write any single piece of code. You just go there and then click a few buttons, which is very, very interesting to do because as an engineer, I've worked on some crypto projects. To achieve this is a very hard task and very easy with the Increment platform. So that is basically a tool that Covalent has given to us to use in our daily development. So that's basically it. So I'm done. You can also picture it the way that I said to you do your job. So if someone that doesn't know about Covalent Sign, just do it after. I don't even get what I'm saying, but it's basically easy since it's on-chain data. Like this, if it's not on-chain, you cannot use Covalent, you cannot use Increment. Any information that you want to use should be on-chain. So basically, this helps you get on-chain data faster. But if anything that's off-chain, you continue your hard work. Yes. Yes, on-chain data. Because the blockchain is, in case the blockchain is not, it's an open network, but it doesn't have relations with outside networks.
Yeah. Okay. So good morning. My name is Colin Oribo. So I want to talk about Web3 and the GoldRush kit, how they can make work faster for developers, and then also the benefits and all that. So I've already spoken about me. I'm a full stack developer at CSTech, also a Covalent Architect. So it's really like a schedule. First of all, we are going to talk about what is Web3 because I'm not just going to assume that all of us here know about Web3. And then we try to like relate it to the current web, which is the Web2. And then we are going to talk about the blockchain basics. And then we'll move to GoldRush kit. So let's start with what's the Web3. So the Web3 is like an upgraded version of the internet. I think is let me say is the internet of the future, whereby you don't need to trust any authority with your data. You control your data and then you decide what happens with your data. Like in the current web, which is the Web2 that we currently use, most of our data are like who controls our stuff. On the Web2, we trust big brands to control our data and everything we put out there. But on the Web3, we are going to like have a say of the data we put out there and all that. So big bosses versus everyone shares. So on the current internet, just like the previous one, still trust, like there is trust. We are trusting the big brands with our data. We trust them so well that we don't even read their terms of service and how they control our data. You understand? So let's start with what's blockchain, because the Web3 is built on blockchain technology. So what's blockchain? So imagine the blockchain as a notebook that's shared among so many persons, and then it keeps record of transactions, who sends money to who, and then maybe if there are digital assets you are being sent and all that. So how does this notebook work? This notebook called blockchain, how does it work? So instead of having one person in charge of this notebook is distributed among everybody, and then each page has the previous page like a link to the previous page and a link to the current page, and then so this what links this stuff, they are called hash. Like technically they are called transaction hash. So like this is what I just explained. So if someone tries to alter this notebook, you have to change, you not just have to change for one, you don't just have to change one person's notebook, but you have to change everybody's notebook simultaneously, which is quite impossible. I mean, yes, so that's what makes it immutable. Yeah. So since now that I think we have like a basic understanding of the blockchain, why it's secure and all that, and what makes it different from the current internet, let's go to the GoldRush kit. So the GoldRush kit is a toolbox for developers. It's a toolbox for developers, but instead of hammers and nails, it contains tools to make building things on the internet very simple. So let's go to the next slide. So how does the GoldRush kit relate to the Web3? So the next internet is focusing on decentralization. So now the Web3, like me, I'm a Web2 developer. I'm a Web2 developer, meaning that I build on the current internet. Like I don't really build on Web3. I don't understand the Web3 technology. But that's why GoldRush Kit is there to make it easy for me. So I don't need to crack my brain to know all the Web3 concepts. So and then it's built in a way that it's built in a way that it supports Web3. You understand? It makes building on the Web3 like very easy. So what does the GoldRush Kit have to do with the blockchain? So the GoldRush Kit provides tools specifically designed to work with the blockchain technology specifically, so that it supports decentralization and security, like emphasis on security and all that. So how does the GoldRush Kit makes it easier for developers? Like I've explained, I'm not a Web3 developer, but I'm able to I built a portfolio tracker with the GoldRush kit, where you put a wallet address and then you see the transactions that happen there. I'm not a Web3 developer, but I was able to build that because of the GoldRush kit. So if I can give an example of what GoldRush kit can do, like I said, something like that is what you can do with GoldRush kit. You can build a platform whereby people can track how their digital assets move and all that. I think you have to meet somebody on the call. So why is the GoldRush kit important? So it's important because it makes it easier for developers to create applications on the new and more user-friendly internet, which is like the Web3. So the last question is GoldRush kit only for experts? No, it's not only for experts. Like I'm not an expert. Even if you are a beginner in the development industry, you can start with the GoldRush kit and then check out their documentation and then build something on it. Thank you very much. You can still take pictures. Okay. Yeah.
If you are using Node, right, if you are using any Node framework at any JavaScript framework at all, you definitely know that you have to use npm to install every libraries and every stuff's dependencies, right? So the GoldRush kit, before you can be able to use it, you have to install it. So in two ways, those of you that are using Windows, right, you can use npm install. So npm simply means Node Package Manager. It helps you to install packages, right? And then since those of you that are using Linux or any kind of operating system, you can use yarn to install that, right? So now let's say we want to start implementing this stuff. Like I said, we can use either we use React app or use Next.js. So we're going to be using React app because it's very easy for us to set up instant. So how do we create React app there? So basically we can create React app with by just simple command, right? So but we are not going to do it now, right? We're not going to do it now. So we just go to the documentation of React and then just check it out how to create React app. So basically when you create a React app, this is what you are going to see, like the folders and structure of the folder. This is how it's supposed to look like. Let me try zooming in. So this is what you're going to see here. We have public and then we have source. So public is just like where we render everything that we're going to be doing. Everything you want to see on your page here, it's been appended to an ID of root, right? So where is this root coming from? So it's coming from index.js, right? So let's just see how we can be able to implement that. So once you create a React app, this is what you're going to see here. Just head over to your app.js. So inside of your app.js here, this is where we start getting the codes from the documentations. Right, so what we want to do first of all is to install this GoldRush kit package here. So you copy this, or if you can type, you type it. So copy it, install it inside of this. I think I have, let me cd it to, so I cd it to this current folder here, because that's where I installed my React. So I can now install GoldRush kit. So while it's installing, let me be explaining documentation. Now, for implementation part, after you finish installing, right, what you want to do is to import, because when you import, that's where you see the destructured part of the GoldRush. Then you can be able to use it. So we have a GoldRush provider. So that's what you use to wrap the whole of your components, right? Everything. So that's what you use to wrap. So you can read through the documentation, even go to their website. If you like, peradventure you finish creating your React app or Next.js app and then implement everything, I'm going to see an interface that is cool, right? It's making sense, but you won't see your result like NFTs and your tokens and everything. Understand? Now the reason is you have to use an API key for it. So what's the key? What's an API key? API key is just like when something is a key, that means it gives you access to something, right? Yeah, so you have to use GoldRush API key. So yeah, I'm feeling. So how do you now make use of GoldRush? How do you now get the API key? So you just go to Covalent CHQ. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So go to their website, official website, and then let me paste it here. Okay, so I think if you've not created an account, yeah.
Post the GitHub link on the chat.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
it's not something that is hard. What you just have to do, like the link that is there, I think when you click it to redirect you to a sign up or a login page, right? So if you don't have an account, you can simply create an account, verify through your email. I've not seen it.
Okay, I should create a new one, right?
Yeah, just
create a new API key.
Yeah. To generate, see, generate automatically for you.
That means you create a new one with a name.
Have you created before? When I did it, you just sign up and then you just see an API key on your dashboard.
Yeah, I've seen one. Latest API. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I've seen.
So I think that's cool. Now what we want to do is, like, we've successfully created API key now. Let's go back to the documentation. Remember I said if you don't have API key, you just see the beautiful interface they give you, but you won't see any record of tokens, NFTs, and anything. You just be blank, right? So the API key helps or gives you access to that particular, gives you access to your results you're looking for. So like I said, install the GoldRush kit with the package npm install and install that. And after that, what we want to do is to import the package, the structured part of the package, right? So yeah. So let's wait for it to install finish. I think the first thing was network. It was network issue. That's why it broke. Let's see. Stop.
This is how it's installed.
Let me go back to. Have you guys opened the GitHub repo? Have you opened it?
Yeah, but I'm not seeing the command to install the GoldRush.
All right, let me do that now. Just wait for it. This is the only thing we are going to install. All right, I think it's done. Now, what we want to do is to import the package we just installed. All right, so for you to import that, just go back to the GitHub repo, scroll down to this part that says import, copy this link here, and then that's all. So importing is we are trying to get this part here, this component from the package, right? So after we've imported it, now what we want to do is this. You can see, I'll advise you go through the documentation very well. Now you can add desired components. We have various components. They have components to display NFTs, like here now, to give you the token list, right? All your tokens, all your NFT wallet tokens you have, to give you the balance of token list and token transfer list and address activity. So you can choose whichever component you want to display. So if you want to display all the components, right, you can import all. So you just come here, copy this link here. So this automatically imports all.
I'm installing. It's just fast.
Sorry. Right, so this package here automatically gives you access to all the different components, right? So we have NFT wallet token list, token balance list, and all of that. So that's what I say. You have to go through the documentation to know the particular one you want to make use of, right? So that's for the importation. Now, this is a part where we are ready to go with the React component. Now, if you're using a Next application, then definitely you have to use, because this is coming from the front end part, you have to use client as the head, the subhead, the head in here, so that you identify that this is for the front end part, right? So now we've imported. Now, for we to be able to get the styled components, right? If you just display this stuff, it will give us an interface that is not appealing, right? So for we to get the styled part of it, you have to import this CSS here. So you copy this stuff, probably import at the top or below it. So once you finish implementing your component, to give you a pre-styled part of everything. All right, so that's that. Now this is a component in React. This is how a component looks like, right? This is how a component, but they use Next here. So ours now we're using React, right? So this is also a component. So what we're interested here is this part here, from this GoldRush to the end. So you see, it's very easy. Just copy and paste and use it with your API key. So you come here now, copy from this part here, this GoldRush part, copy to the end. See, let me just try to zoom out. So let me see, I'm copying from this part to zoom out. Let me just copy everything, and I think I'm going to get a lot of things here. So all I need is, from this part down to this. Sorry, just clear this. So clear this part here and clear all the imports here, only them. So we can collapse this and get this stuff. So that's what I need. Then I can paste it inside of this part here. All right, so I think we've now imported one more thing, which is this GoldRush provider here. So let's import that. And this is fine. Now let me run this. I think I have server. I've run this stuff. So let me see. So let me preview. And so this is what we have there. All right, so this is what we have now. But if you see, it's showing us invalid or missing API key. Now the reason is this: the API key they gave us here, they gave us a link to an ALV file, right? Which we don't have an API key yet. So for we to get the details of the component, the details inside of these components, you just have to go and copy the API key now. So this is my API key. Copy that, and then can replace it inside of this part here. Just paste your API key, and then I think that should be fine. Let me see. So try refreshing this stuff now. Let me zoom out a little bit So you see that I have 71 tokens here. So it's now giving me the result of the total tokens I have in my wallet. Do you understand? So I have 71 tokens here for this component. Remember, I said it's different components, right? Depending on what you want to use. If you scroll down here, we have a part for getting our network tokens, which is Ethereum and USDC. You understand? Then you see all the different stuff here. You also scroll down here, you see our mainnet and testnet. The total mainnet we have in this wallet market, we have 13 here. Then our testnet, we have 10. Then if you scroll down here, you see the NFTs we have. We have 153 NFTs in total. So that's how you can be able to use GoldRush kits and display and just come up with a good stuff. So I think one of the cool projects you can create with this is like what did I call that stuff again? Like token, okay, portfolio tracker, right? So you can build a portfolio tracker stuff where someone can just log into the application, input their wallet address, and to just give them total number of tokens, NFTs in their platform. Yeah, I think that should be all for now. Right, so any questions? I know I rushed the whole stuff, right? Because yeah, I'm very fast.
You are very fast.
So what? Right. So you can ask questions from beginning, quotation, and everything. You can ask your question. And the reason why I didn't do most of the stuff from ground is because of the timing to get, so that to not stop the whole stuff. But I know most of you that are developers here, you might be wondering, that are not developers, might be wondering how did I create a React app and all those stuff. But it's simple. If you go to their documentation, like if you head over to React now, head over to their documentation, we have different steps, right, on how to create a React app. If you prefer Next.js, you can install Next.js and work with Next.js. Say what?
Can I use the bytes?
Can you use what?
I can use bytes, Abi?
Yeah, if you can
Bytes.
use.
That's what I'm doing.
So to start a new project here, this is the command here. So nps creates, if it's Next, use Next app, then give it a name. If it's React, you have to switch it to React. So that's how you create. Go through the documentation. For those of you who are not developers, but if you're a developer here, it will be more easier for you to relate with what I'm doing. All right. So, and what else did I not do from ground? I think that should be all. That should be all. Yeah. So let's wait for
at what point are you? Imagine this is going live. Huh? Imagine this is going live. 1, 2, I've installed that. Yeah, I've done the whole coding part.
Have you installed it? Everything. Have you created a React app?
Yeah, I've done all the parts. Just to go live with my React app.
NPM starts.
I'm using Vite. NPM run dev. I'm just having issues with the installation process.
All right. So when you finish now, just run dev. I think it's going to open. But you went through the steps, like get all the stuff from GitHub. And no issues now.
I went to the GitHub repository. I copied the code he asked us to copy to import the GoldRush provider, NFT wallet token list, those models I asked us to import. I installed GoldRush on my Git bash. And I want to run the command to go live on my writer.
Sorry. Yeah. And you still have to install the CSS. Import, because it's coming from the GoldRush kit. You just have to import it. So it's just vertical.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it, right?
Let me import it. Oh, that one said it's not English.
Yeah. So, any other questions?
I don't know. Dev.
Carla.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll start afresh. Good afternoon, everyone. I followed the tutorial and like it was on point and everything was very well explained. Shout out to Mr. Philip for the explanation. And I've been looking for something similar to this to build a project for a client, and I've been having some challenges. Now, I'm very, very lucky I came into this webinar, and this thing is really a game changer for me. It's very easy to follow, very simple, and I'm very, very glad I came across this thing because it's really helped me go a long way in this project. So thank you very much for this class, and I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
For the offer, hello?
The project that you're building, do you want to share? You say you're building a project, an app for.
Yeah, it's a Web3 kind of app.
Oh, nice.
Sorry?
I said nice.
So what was your question again?
I was asking if it was a Web3 project, but it's cool. Since you said it's Web3, I understand that. Cool.
Yes, it's a Web3 app.
All right, no trouble. Thank you so much.
So,
all right, so I just want to say thank you guys for joining today's session. We're going to have this again next month. So there are two particular persons that really did well during the session. That was Paul Borisade. He's actually building a Web3 product for a client, and he said that he's going to use this. So the API, the Covalent sub, we have a free Covalent sub to give to people who actually want to use the API platform. So it's going to go to Paul Borisade, and it's going to go to Favor Academy. Favor is, I think this is Favor's first time using GoldRush, and he's actually practicing now. So after this session, he's going to build a app, a Web3 platform that would use it. So two of them are people that are going to get the sub. So we're going to have this again next month. Most likely, Paul and Favor would be speakers in next month's session since they start using GoldRush kits now. So probably by next month, they would have gotten better. So for the both of you, make sure that you start practicing really good right now with GoldRush because you're going to be on next month's session. And then just to recap, if you want to become an alchemist, I posted the link before. I'll post it again. I'll tweet about it again. Just go to Twitter and get the link.